Okay. Hey everyone, Joel here with Center Media. Just checking. It looks like we're just getting going. The streams are populating. So welcome everyone who's here in person. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you happen to be in the world. So today, we have a lot on the agenda. There's a lot of new things to go over. So if you're unfamiliar with how you got here and what's going on, you are on the Growth Machines webinar slash podcast, and I'm Joel Horowitz. I'm the founder of Center Media, and what I have open here is Center Media. Let me close this guy, just reminding me. And so, what Center Media is it's a AI agentic operating platform for growth, and particularly for um, buying and launching and managing paid media. So, if you're unfamiliar, you can go to centermedia.ai. Oops, let me log out here so you can see the homepage. Um, so, yep, you can operate every ad platform there is practically, and so the way this works is you can basically go in and sign up for Center Media. We have actually a few different ways to get started. You can actually start for free, which is actually pretty novel, I think, in the in this area. I think I'm the only one at this point with a free plan. We'll give you 1,000 credits to get started. You can start connecting um, your ad accounts and start analyzing them and use the agent to start learning more about your growth operations, or you can dive right into a growth plan. You can do monthly or yearly. Obviously, we do some price breaks, excuse me, if you go that route. If you're an agency, we also have an agency plan over here where you can basically have multiple workspaces included, which is quite nice because then you can actually have different brands on their own workspace, and you as an agency can manage those different brands. So really quite nice. If I come back to the homepage really fast, yeah, you can see we have a bunch of platforms here from from screens, every social, paid social, every surface, every conversation we're in. So you can see we have all of these ad platforms that are available and on the way. Lots of really great companies now have started testing and trying Center for their growth operations. We also have a really nice MCP, so you can just basically add the MCP to any of your favorite um, AIs or AI agents, that is. So that's really cool. We have basically what's called the Campaign IDE. This is where you can work with the agent to build out your campaigns. There's also a document editor that allows you to generate reports or generate markdown files or what have you, so that you can basically keep tabs and actually collaborate with your team. So there's commenting, there's sharing with a pin code. There's all the things that you would imagine to make it super simple to collaborate with. We're building the creative studio. It's coming along really quite well. I feel pretty good about our image creatives. Video creatives are right around the corner. All of the core infrastructure is built out, yet we're still working on building what we call kind of like our multi-layered like quality assurance capability. So basically, what that means is after we build the creatives, we're essentially um, evaluate the agent itself is evaluating those creatives to make sure they're good. We have landing pages, and unlike other landing page generators that you might have heard of, we actually embed all of the conversion tracking into the landing page. So that's the biggest benefit of using Center, is that you only need to connect one pixel to your Google Tag Manager to your site, and then and then it'll fan out across all the rest of your ad platforms. So if it's Meta, Google, and I'll show you what this looks like in a moment. We have enterprise security that's in process, so that one's coming along quite well. I think probably by the end of July we'll be SOC 2 compliant, so that's exciting. But you should know that we're very secure. And then yeah, we have a pretty extendable developer platform. So not just the MCP, but we also have an SDK and API, so you can even use Center from the command line, which is kind of cool. We have this idea of growth plays. So there's some templates in here depending on the type of business you are, where if you have those accounts, then you can basically launch these types of growth plays. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, you can read the, obviously you can read the homepage on your own, but just kind of want to show you kind of an overview from the site. And then if you sign up, you can just basically come in and sign up. It'll take you through an onboarding flow. And what it's going to do is it's going to basically evaluate your website for the first time, and basically store all of your brand messaging and your brand identity, right, in Center. So actually, before I go into the agent, let me show you what that looks like. So if you come back here, these are all the ad platforms you can see that are connected, which is great. I got here by going to settings, over here by mousing over, this will fly open, which is nice. And then you go to settings right here. So that's good. And you'll also notice that we have some, like I said before, we have this conversion capability. So you can add a site, and then you can install the pixel here. So we have our own pixel, and it'll basically be able to see the events and send those events to either Google Tag Manager or to LinkedIn or whichever ad platform you like. So that's pretty slick. So you can tell it which events to even send this to. So we're sending this to LinkedIn. We can say add like another destination. Let's choose, I don't know, like Reddit Center right here. And we can add that one as well. And we could just, has the pixel. And now I'm sending the events to Reddit. It's that easy. Pretty cool, right? And so then when you create a landing page, like over here, then you can kind of see, okay, like you can see which ones are draft, which ones are not. So here's one that's not in draft. So here's a cool landing page that we created. So now all these CTAs are going to have this type of, are basically going to have these, what am I trying to say? It's going to have the event tracking and pixels, created there. So super simple, really useful. So you can honestly create landing pages like per company. So you can do like some ABM stuff. You can probably even create it per person. I honestly have just like barely scratched the surface. But yeah, so we're kind of building this up. And then the only thing you need to do is go into your DNS and add a new CNAME. You can call this, I usually just use go or start or here or whatever, landing, I don't know, and then just update and add the Vercel DNS there, and it'll automatically redirect to your landing page or to your to your domain. So instead of saying go.centermedia.ai, it'll say go.customerdomain.com, right? So it works that way. The breaking news this week is we added MCP servers. So now you can basically just come in here. I'm still working on it, so that's why it's a beta feature. So if you want, some of these beta programs, you can come in here and sign up, or opt out is right here. So you get all these different capabilities, like I said, that we're in the process of building. So you can have early access to that. I'm pretty excited about this one because I think, everyone was so focused on making their MCPs available to, the Claudes and GPTs of the world. But lately I've started using Claude, and I'll use one example like here, like, it's just been having issues. So like, I'm like, hey, how do I, look at this? And it's like, has issues. And so, instead of that, I'm like, well, you know what? Folks should be able to bring, whatever you've built inside of Claude and bring that over to Center, right? So, if like, for example, like if you'd prefer to use the Google, AdWords MCP, like go ahead, bring that over and you can use that here. And you can extend Center because we also have our own native, Google Ads tooling. But if you prefer their MCP, then by all means, like I have really, no preference. Same with Meta MCP, you can do that as well. And then we have other like, I accidentally called this Notiono, so I can go in here and like change this to just say, call this Notion. I'm still working on it because I have to add this authentication bearer. I have to go and look at what that is. That's why it's kind of having issues. But that's basically, just saving that. Great. Now it's called Notion instead of Notiono. Maybe let's change their name Notiono. I don't know. I think it's kind of a funny name. Anyway, so you can do that. And then what's also pretty cool, and I was playing with this morning, is so for example, say like you're like me and you just wanted to add in like loops. So like, I don't have any loops skills, right? I don't write any, but I can go to skills.sh and look for loop skills, and I can find one like, here we go. Sending loops, email best practice. This one looks good. Looks like it passed like a bunch of trust, has a few stars, but not super popular yet. Maybe after this it will be. But then we just come back over here, over here, and I could just copy and paste and boom. And now I have loops best practices. 6 skills are involved. Let's go see what they actually look like, shall we? So down here, you'll notice these are the best practices. So what are the best practices? It's to use this skill when doing this. Use a skill for email quality, risk, diagnose, deliverability. I don't know. So anyway, so you can do this with any new kind of campaign that you want to run, like any new, if you have an MCP server you want to bring in. So, grab the MCP server, grab the skill, and now you can use that on Center. So, I mean, pretty phenomenal, right? So now you don't have to wait on me to add new connections. You can just, add your MCP server. It's wide open now. So I think that's pretty exciting. The other thing that I want to show you that we're working on is automations. So we're now running this, and this is now running. So check this out. So you can basically decide whether you want, to be in ask mode, draft mode, semi-autonomous. I need to come up with better names, right? This is like, in Tesla's world, this would be like Mad Max. This would be Hurry. This would be Standard, and this would be like Sloth, I think he would call it. So we should maybe come up with something funny like that. So if I go to fully autonomous now, let's see what happens. I can click that, click run dry mode, and see how this goes. Yeah, it says I need to be part of the beta program. This one's running, so let's run now and see how it goes and kind of look at this. So it's monitoring my Google Ads campaign. It's kind of going through this. So right now it's set up to ask. So I can actually do this per agent as well, which is great. There we go. And so now it's going to run fully autonomously now, which is pretty slick. So we're in the process of building this out. You'll see like other competitors say, oh, we have like autonomous agents. Really what they are is like cron jobs. Like they're just running, crons on their back end and sending you an email report, which is not autonomous anything. Like this will actually change your campaigns. This will actually go through, look for negative keywords, for example. That's what this one's doing. This one actually is looking for Google Search Console keywords. So it's monitoring new organic keywords that are coming up for Center and then grabbing them and sucking them into our Google AdWords campaign. So that's pretty slick. This one's looking for anomalies. So again, I can change this to fully autonomous. Pretty slick. And I'll actually run that as well. So this one's done 101 runs. That's a lot. So anyways, you can kind of see how that's running. I've been running a lot in like shadow mode to kind of see what the agent recommends before we started activating this. But every week we're adding, more capability here. So if you want, sign up for the beta and you can have early access to our autonomous agents, which I think is pretty cool. You can even just create new ones over here, tell it what you want it to do, and so on. So yeah, I know that was like a lot of information. But those are kind of the key ones. And like I said, you can also extend outward. So like if you want to use Center as an MCP, I had a gentleman asking me today, like, hey, is X available, X ads? I'm like, yes, it is. But I think it got sucked into the beta program. So I pushed it back out to public usage. But yeah, like I said, we have the SDK. In fact, this is one thing that people don't know that we have. We actually have this pretty cool Chrome extension. So I use this when I'm looking at websites that I don't own, when I'm talking to new companies. So you can actually just add this in there to your extension, which is pretty slick. So now it's been added there. So then when I go to like a new client, let's say it's Nike, and I can just go ahead and pull this. Whoa, that's like shocking, like my brain getting epilepsy. Okay, so then I can actually look at this and I can like inject some code. I can actually like verify with Center. We can try to detect like what other pixels it has. And so on and so forth. So it creates a really nice tool to inject server-side tracking on different pages. So that's a useful capability. I'm gonna reload this one more time and see if this picks up the pixels. Yeah, there it goes. So now it sees the Google AdWords. They have Meta. They have Reddit. I don't know why this broke for them, but I'll investigate that. So it's pretty cool. So you can actually see which pixels are on the page. To verify that there's actually tracking there. So I can see exactly what Nike's doing. Alternatively, like if I want to do this, get a full report, I can actually go to Center Media /free report. I don't know if anyone knew about this. And this will actually produce a full report. So I can go Nike.com. I can send myself an email at centermedia.ai. This is retail. Oh, it's called sports. Let's be clear. And then we click next. And this will actually go back into Center if you have an account. We're going to select all. And by the way, you'll probably notice me selecting these accounts. So this is a guardrail that we have so that you don't accidentally add the wrong account. So I can get rid of certain accounts down here. And that way the agent knows only to use those particular accounts, right? And doesn't use all those accounts, right? So I'll control what the agent can or cannot see. So while that's doing that, we can come back here. And yeah, so those are some of the examples. There's an audit log. We also have geo-targeting. So now, just so people know, like, yes, like we have some countries that are considered, problematic from us. Sorry, but it's just true. Like they sometimes have a higher number of bots. But you can turn these on or off, right? So I'm now defaulting them, off, but you can always come back in here and turn them on if you want for your default. So I get emails, sometimes angry emails like, hey, how come India's in this category? Yeah, listen, go ahead, turn it back on if you want. I'm just telling you what I see. Or you can go by particular channels directly, or you can set global. I need to add the rest of the ad platforms here now. I'm just looking at this. Or do something a little bit different. But yeah, so you can go back in there and make edits there. Yeah, you can customize your workspace here, which is really quite nice. Change your email, and then the other thing is we have role-based access control for our teammates. So here's our team. You can come in here and add somebody there. Change which. If you're an admin, you can add connect accounts. If you're a member, you can see those accounts. A viewer, you just get to read what other people are doing. So let's dive into this. I was playing with loops this morning. I know I talk pretty fast, so apologize for that. But I was just kind of looking at this. And so now we can say pull the loop skills. And let's see if we can build a campaign email. And then use the list to use for a LinkedIn campaign using the company. I don't know if this will work. I have to go and see, but company domain as the audience. This is what I'd like to do. We'll see if it actually works. I know I'm connected to loops, but it might need some more tooling to actually get the job done. So we'll see how this goes. It did load the skills. So there you go. Look at this. It's loading the skills. It's really nice to see that it does that. So let's see what skills it loaded. It loaded Klaviyo. So it thought I might want to use Klaviyo, but it did load loops. See, there it is that we just loaded. It loaded the audience and consent. So that's pretty great, isn't it? So that kind of worked. Right. So let's go ahead. So let's say first export the prospect. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and export. I see. So it wants me to export and share here, which I don't really want to do. Let's try to do it. Let's do it. Let's do it purely using API. I never like exporting CSV files. That's a PII thing that we don't want to do, because we're going to want to take this list, but then we need to hash the list if we actually are going to use it. And we also need to make sure that people have opted in for us to send them a note, right? So we need to check for those things, and hopefully those skills are doing that, but I'll double check before we do anything. So yeah, again, it's loading the skill. It's loading the loop CLI. So see how it knows which skill, to pull. Kind of something. So since you want to do this, it has export. Do you have the loop CLI installed? If yes, run that. Right. So I think I have to add this to center because it's still kind of like I don't think these tools are available yet, which is okay. I just want to kind of show you like how this could work, but once I kind of install the rest of the tools, it'll work just fine. But yeah, pretty cool that it actually kind of got as far as it did. Let's go back and look at Nike really fast, see if it finished its report. There you go. So here's Nike. Like I said, so yeah, it'll grade Nike based on its quality. It doesn't have CRM, at least that it can tell, right? So it's looking for certain things. They have New Relic. They have Google Analytics. They're on, like I said, Google. What's interesting is that my what do you call it? My Chrome tool detected Reddit, but we didn't detect it here for some reason. That's kind of interesting, but it does know it has despite active Reddit campaigns. So it knows there's campaigns running. So this is interesting. So I got to go look at that, why it missed that one. Kind of interesting. But yeah, I can kind of guess, what its presence is. It's running about 1.5 mil on Google. That's a lot. LinkedIn, not as much. Can then I'll look at its like competitors, like compared to Adidas, Under Armour, Puma. That's pretty good. So it's a pretty good job, right? Of kind of going through, looking at the athlete, what its kind of key persona looks like, the ICP, fitness enthusiast. So you get all this for free. So like this is a free thing that you can go right now, sign up on Center Media, and get this like super detailed free report from Center. So then I'll even give you like campaign ideas. It's great. Like it's just really great. So one thing like you can do. So let's say let me see. I'm gonna look at the Jordans. Let's look at Jordans. All right, so those are cool sneakers. So let's say I actually might even get a pair. So let's see if we grab Oh no, go back. I want those sneakers. Go back, go back. Here. Did I click this link? No, not there. Come on, Nike. Try again. So if I go like this, check this out. So I can go like this and just like grab this like this. Ah, if I can work faster. I'm very slow with my screen capturing. Bear with me. All right, so we can just go like this. So check this out. So let's grab this, and I bet you can guess what I'm thinking of doing. So then we can grab this guy. See, it's a screen capture. I can just drop it in here. Oh no, come on, work. Oh, that's frustrating. Let me see if I can get it to work. 1 second. Oh, it took the wrong screenshot. Ah, that's why, because it's in it's a temporary file. So we have to actually like let it save, and then we can do this. All right, bear with me. Sorry. 1 more second. That's nice. Okay, then we have to go like this. Because what it does when you take that screenshot, it just like saves into a temporary file. So now, whoops, go back here, open up this. And by the way, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I think there's like a few people, in the room. So if you have questions, just feel free to stop me as I'm going, because I know I'm just going through a bunch of stuff really quickly. Oh man, why is it not uploading? That's really weird. Try one more time. Maybe it's too big. Let me see if I can open this up. All right, let's try to save this. Save. Yes, and then export. Right, as PNG. Yeah, it's 4.7 megs. Let's call this Nike Air Jordan 4. Let's go with that. And then alpha. What does alpha mean? Alpha. No, we want. I don't know what this alpha thing is. Let's save that. See if that works. See if this one works now. It should work. Oh, man, that's so frustrating. Well, sorry, guys. I don't know why it's not working today. Maybe I'm hitting like the size limit. We'll try and scale it down. 1 second. 1 more second. I'm sorry. Export. Yeah, okay, let's do a JPEG. And let's bring, yeah, that's fine. That's probably better. Save. All right, let's see if this one works. I think this is my JPEG. No, what the heck? How bizarre. It was working just fine earlier. Okay. Well, anyway, so what you would see is I'd be able to just drag this over, and then you'd be able to just create an ad with it. I'm just kind of annoyed that it's not working at the moment. Sorry about that. Any questions from anyone yet? Or not so much? No, nothing. Okay. What else? The other big news, I guess, this week is, yeah, I actually, I showed an example last week of building the, what do you call it? Building the campaign off of Google search. So I'm going to show you once more what that looks like. So just drag and check. Is there any free trial? Yeah, Vani, there is a free trial. There's a free trial and there's a free plan. So you can trial any of the paid plans for 14 days to unlock all of the actually, let me try that one more time. I think Sai, you might be right. Let me just try on a new thread. Yay, that works. See, I think it was like, maybe it was too much context, as I guess, from the old one. Good job, Sai. Is it Sai? I think Sai. Thank you for that. Let's try this. Create a new ad for Nike with these shoes, I guess. Let's see how it does. So check this out. So that's what I was trying to show you guys. Like, you can just literally like drag and drop this in there. And you can create some ads. Yeah. So like creates a skill, pulls in the skill. There you go. Look at this campaign creation protocol. So, I'm talking to a lot of people, and let's go and run these on Meta, and let's do Meta and Reddit, please. Let's drive awareness. You can do like clicks as well, and then let's do $25, 25 per day. There you go. That's it. And so what's cool is like, you can just kind of do stuff like this. And so that's how I've always operated. I've always operated, and it's not just like creating images this way. So like, for example, earlier, like there's a limitation with LinkedIn's API right now where, it can't see, lead forms, right? So check it out. It actually knew exactly that. It read this, right? It figured out the actual Nike, URL. Isn't that wild? It created all of this like instantly, and then we could say, yep, that looks right. That looks right. I'm gonna help you, Nike, sell some shoes. You're welcome. So there we go. That looks right. We're gonna launch a campaign for Nike in what 33 seconds, 4 seconds? I don't know. That's an exaggeration. Let's call it 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Um, it's literally that fast and that easy. I mean, it's kind of wild, right? And let's see. So just looking at it, that looks right. Quick options, yeah. Use Nike.com. That's fine. We'll find the page later because it's on the homepage, right? We saw it on the homepage. That's all right. So it'll match actually. Like it'll actually probably do a better campaign for them than maybe what they're doing. Anyways, so that's what this looks like, and then you click approve. So there's all of these like stage gates, right? Like it doesn't just like run off and do it. It'll ask you each time. It's going to burn through some credits, so it's going to make sure you have enough credits to do this, and so on. So that works pretty well. What else? Where was I? Yeah, so you can see like so it's pretty cool. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So I was talking to another customer the other day who's very advanced in their use of AI agents for their growth marketing team. And so they've basically like built their full, their whole, let's see this one. Okay, great. Oopsies. No, I don't want to do that. Let's see. So this one is one campaign. So we can say approve. And then that one's going to approve. And then we can do approve that one. Yep. And that's it. So we just approved both of them up there. And now those campaigns are running. You can also see it here, right? So where it is. That's it. It's really that fast. Yep. Go ahead and continue. Yeah, so a lot of people have built up a lot of their own skills, and so you can actually go ahead. Can we do any voice generation for ads? Do you mean like you like creating like using your voice like this way to like tell the center? I think what you mean is like voice generation, like 11 Labs. Yeah, the answer is yes. So let's try and do that now. Check this out. All right, so let's do this as Spotify. Let's go here to Spotify. Yep, there you go, Spotify. Continue. And let's go and say, write a Spotify voice ad for the, ad. I can actually do it this way. For the new Nike Jordan 4s and use a, let's use a, kind of an English, athletic voice. I don't even know what that means, but let's do that. There you go. Yeah. I don't need like the whole diatribe here, but let's see if this makes any sense. I don't know. And so you can just do it. Yeah. So we have 11 labs in there, Nithya. And so you can just have it write that. Let's see if I have a skill in there. So again, like it's going to load a skill. It's using that one. Let me see if I can find a better skill for Spotify. I wonder if there is one. Let's see, Spotify. There you go, Spotify player, API. Let's see, Spotify ads. Yeah, I don't even think there are any Spotify ads ones. So I think I built my own. So I thought I already published mine to skills.sh, but maybe it didn't take yet. But yeah, there you go. So there's the script. Check this out. So deep breath in, like before the starting gun. Every legend starts with a step. Oh, this is pretty good. The new Nike Air Jordan 4 built for those who don't wait for permission to be great. Carbon fiber spring. Wow, I didn't know it had that. Lockdown fit. I don't even know if this is true, but okay. This isn't a trainer. This is your statement, your standard. That looks pretty good. Just do it. That looks right. The voice is a natural English person. It has that. Yep, go ahead. Go ahead and build this. So yeah, we have 11 labs. You just go ahead and write a nice ad. I'll actually show you one that I did for, I was testing this. Let's do ads.spotify.com. So I was actually playing with this, create an ad. I think it's this one. Let's see. I think so. So I'll show you. Hopefully you can hear this. I don't know if you can hear this. I might have to stop sharing because obviously it's a sound one. Yutki, Will you let me know if you can hear this in a moment when I run it? Please. Okay, thank you. So let's see. Oh, this one doesn't have it there. All right, go back. Let's find the ads. Should be this one. Center audio. So what's cool about Spotify is like you can choose like the your demographics, how often you want it to play, like a bunch of really cool stuff. So this is kind of what it looked like for me. I did this kind of psychedelic thing. So you can let me know if you can hear this when I play it really quick. Here we go. Can you hear that, Yuki? Cannot. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see. All right, let me stop sharing and share screen. Entire screen. I got you. Here we go. All right, this should work. All right. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Let's go back. So this is what it looks like literally in Spotify when you run these ads.
You're running
Can you hear it now,
campaigns across
Yuki?
6 platforms, 6
Yeah.
workflows,
So I built
6
this.
blind spots. Cinta deploys AI agents that plan,
Isn't that
write,
cool?
launch, and optimize your ads across every platform simultaneously. Direct API, no middleware, no sync delays. This is what happens when you stop managing your stack and let agents run it.
Pretty good, right? I didn't even
Cinta,
write that. It
the
wrote
AI
that.
agent operator for ads. See how it works at cintamedia.ai.
Yeah, I should probably start running those ads again. They're pretty freaking cool. Anyways, you can see, look at the completion rate too, by the way, 97%. So people listen to the whole thing, got 5 clicks. Yeah, it's a low click-through rate, but you have to remember this is a very passive channel. So you're going for mostly impressions. And so you got 61,000 impressions. One person listened to it. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's a pretty high reach. I only ran this for like a day or two, just kind of test it. To answer your question, yeah, you can use your own voice. I think you can upload your own like MP4. I shouldn't say I think. You can upload your own MP4 file. Just same way, just drag and drop. And that's really super simple. Oh, that's not the one I want. And then there's this one. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, see, you have 2 options. You can do this, or you can use the AI generated. So yeah, go ahead and use the AI generated voice. Yep, that's fine. So it always give you these options. So like, yeah, you can upload your own or you can use ours. And by the way, like if you ever run into issues, like there seems to be like maybe an issue here. So you can always go over here to the chatbot and say, are these campaigns launched? What are we waiting for? Right. And so this will go to our engineering team. Really, it's an agent on the back end, as well as a few engineers, but mostly it's an agent. And so it's going to go and it's going to review this, and it'll give you some feedback on how to fix it if it's not, working the way you would like it to. Yeah, let's just give it a second. Let's see, it should come back momentarily. Yeah, there it goes. So when it's that good question, looking at your workspace, we're in draft mode. So it's held in a draft state. Right. So it said draft. So I have to flip this out of draft mode, right? So it's just waiting for my approval. It sounds like, okay, well, you are approved. And if that doesn't work, then you can say, this doesn't work, and I'll actually go and create a linear issue and like go and address whatever the issue is. So pretty cool. So this is like our support system. You can email it too. So if you email support, I want to say support at centerai.com or centermedia.ai. I think it's centerai.com. No, centermediaai.ai. Support at centermedia.ai. It'll also like reply to you as well, which is great. So that's kind of how that looks like. Any other questions? I mean, there's just so much. Oh, I was going to show you one more thing actually. So, like I said, just to follow up with last week, I'm going to show you another really kind of cool thing. So if you do Google Search Console right here, this one, and then we're going to do, like I said, we have Gauge now in here. We can actually get some ideas of phrases and, yeah, so we can ask Center, what are now the top keywords, or I should say organic keywords and LLM phrases people are using to find centermedia.ai. And we want to amplify this. So my best practice is always, go organic first. Yeah, VJ, this will be recorded and it'll be actually shared on all the major social channels. So like whether you're on X, YouTube, I don't see LinkedIn running today, so maybe it didn't run, but that's all right. But it's on X, YouTube, and Facebook. And so you'll find the recordings for sure on YouTube, VJ. So feel free to check there. So yeah, so it's going to pull this data, right? All this from Gauge. You see it pulling Cage in here. It's going to pull in. What am I trying to say? The Google search data, and then you can use that to drive your campaigns. And so, like I said, I did that last week, and we achieved an 18% click-through rate. That's like the highest click-through rate I've ever seen, I want to say. So it's pretty wild. Yeah, this one is still there. So it'll keep going so we can improve this. This one's from the other one, right? So this is from Nike, from the other one. So we can improve that. So it'll keep this like pending state for campaigns that you built, and it'll just kind of keep that in the state until you decide to clear it like this. That's fine. So we have that type of capability. But yeah, it's gonna like build this out into a document. And I'll show you in one moment kind of how this looks like and what you can do with it. So just give it a few more moments here. By the way, you can open this up, or make it tiny. So that's pretty slick. If you guys aren't familiar with Gauge, I'd encourage you to go over there and check them out. It's really, really useful in terms of like driving your LLM observability or visibility. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool product. And so like, that's why I integrated into Cinter. Yeah, works great. So let's wait a few more moments. It's actually building the document. That's why this says like, inputs, outputs. I've started keeping these windows open so people can actually see what the agent's doing. So you're not just watching like a spinning wheel. So of course, like, Cinter itself is getting a very high click-through rate. So these are all my branded terms. That makes sense. But check this out. So what's interesting to me is that ever since I started advertising on some of these, now they're actually going up. So check out these new like keywords, non-branded, that are popping up. Why? Because I started advertising against them. I mean, look at this one, 50% on AI ad creative automation. I mean, that's like, this was 0 last week. If you guys remember, go back, check the tape. I mean, there's some competitors here that we're outranking now. We own a lot of visibility when it comes to overall. It's up about 3% since May 7th. So about a month ago. Yeah, we're growing quite a lot, which is really quite nice. Demand gen is starting to go up because I think more B2B tech companies are noticing us and so on. But yeah, so you can also see, who else is citing us. So we're like beating even some of these like big guys. And so then we get some nice phrases. And so based on that, it says double down on MCP content. Okay. But that's from an organic standpoint. So now check this out. If we want to, we can add in, let's go over here to my accounts, and we're going to go to Google right here. So we're going to go to Google Center. I don't know why okay, let's just do that. And then we're going to go to, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. I think that's probably fine for now. OpenAI ads is the other one. See this one? So we have that one new. Okay. So now we can say, use this information to update our Google search, we'll call it GSC campaign on Google AdWords, and inform our our OpenAI ads campaign, right? So you can use these things interchangeably. Like, I'm not an SEO guy, like I'm not an LLM person. I'm a growth person. So I use these signals, right, to then go ahead and find opportunities. Any questions on this so far? No questions. Okay, well, keep me posted if anything comes up. So yeah, so now I'm going to basically update this, and basically it's loading again the skills. As you can see, it's looking at campaign creation protocols. So like you can see, so what's going on here? We're using the integrations, we're adding the skills, super easy. Pretty soon you'll see like calling the MCP as one of the line items here, where I'm just building that, basically this week. So it's going to be a very, very powerful platform. And here's the other thing. It's all based, in the browser. If you notice, I flip between 3 different browser sessions. Go try and create multiple chats in Claude Desktop right now and tell me how it goes, right? I guarantee you it's not going to go very well, right? Alternatively, you can actually approve. Oops, I spelled approve wrong, but that's all right. But alternatively, yeah, you can open up a bunch of like terminal windows. But it's just not optimized. So what you're going to do if you use like your do-it-yourself stuff is it's going to rewrite these scripts over and over again. It's not going to really learn. You're not going to have like, anyways, you might be able to build this yourself, and hats off to you. I applaud those who want to build it yourself. Like, go for it, right? But if you don't want to build it yourself and you just want to like do what I do and get to work, then I would encourage you to try Center, because it might save you a boatload of time, as you can see here, and just kind of get to work like what I'm doing. What else? Any other questions or comments from the audience? That one's going. I'm just double checking. Yep, that one's the landing page. That one's that one. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I just show you. I want to show you one. Yep, this one's going. Great. Approve. Yep, I already approved it. So that one's gonna get built. Great. And then one more thing I'll show you, which I think is pretty slick. So then you can actually say, like, now I have to like show my CEO a really nice report, right, from all this like fun stuff we've been doing. So go ahead and generate an AI generated performance performance report for all of our ad channels. This one's kind of also a work in progress, but I think it's getting there. So let's see how it does. I think this one's pretty slick. So this is like, you saw like there's kind of this style, like this is kind of what I call like the markdown report, right? There's also like the, yep. So add copy, that's ready. There you go. Great. Yes. Want me to, yep. Yep. Okay. So let's create, build the MCP Hub landing page. That's a good idea. Let's do that first. I got to fix the OpenAI tools because I don't have all the skills. It's a brand new platform, so I have to go and build it out so it works fast. This one is unlike the what I would call the like standard markdown report that you saw earlier. Like, you can create actually some pretty detailed reports there. This one's going to be what's called an HTML report. And so this is the equivalent of like what Claude might build with its design skills. In fact, I just, Claude, you can go and grab its design skills, right? So if you go back here and you go Claude design, or maybe it's Anthropic design. What is it called? Skills, design, skills, 2 L's. Yeah, there's like, no. I was looking for anyways, you can find them. I think you can look for them in Claude Desktop itself and like borrow those skills. I like that the community is, managed to stay pretty open, with sharing all these skills. I mean, I talked to some companies, like I said, and they're like really nervous because they have their own internal way of doing things. And like, hey, I don't want to give you our skills. So any skill that you add to your workspace are yours, right? We don't see them. They're locked down. They're encrypted. So you should just know that. Like, if you update your skills, nobody else on the platform will see them. They're yours. And then the other big news, I guess, is kind of I shouldn't share this too broadly, but that's all right. So the other thing that's coming next week is BigQuery and Snowflake integration. So we've gotten a lot of requests from people who want to bring their data with them, right? So a lot of you, like bigger companies and bigger agencies, store your like historical ad performance data and other data, right? Like financial data, maybe, or customer data inside of like a larger, cloud data warehouse. So whether you're Databricks or Snowflake or BigQuery, those are kind of the big three, in my opinion. You'll be able to soon, BigQuery is the first one, but then we'll have Snowflake and Databricks shortly after that, where you can just bring your data to Center, and then the agent can basically write SQL and actually query those databases to find relevant information to inform its campaigns. So that's going to be coming this month. I'm pretty excited about that because I think that's going to unlock a lot of really interesting use cases. But check it out. So it's building all this stuff out, which is exciting. And that's essentially what this will look like. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to cover today. I'm not sure, Yuki, if there's anything else, any other questions that anyone had that you heard, or anything else you think I should cover. What do you think? Okay. Yeah. This is a good time for people to go ahead and ask any additional questions. We have about 15 minutes left. So any questions or any help anyone needs or just want to share something cool that you're working on in Center or anywhere really, yeah, just would love to kind of hear what you have in mind. So this is like, just so you guys know, so this is basically like the markdown version of the report. We also have a version of this where you can create the HTML version. Let me see if I can get to work. We've been kind of going back and forth with this. Nice. Thanks, Tamana. Let's see. Build the HTML performance weekly report. Let's see if this gets it to go. Yeah, we're trying to like teach the agent like when to use which which style of reports. So this is kind of one style, and then there's like another style that I'm trying to get it to write. But I can show you kind of what that looks like in another one here. Let me see if I can find it. Bear with me. Let me see. I need to go to the next page. Is it that one? It might be this one. Hold on a second. I think it might be this one. Is this the one? Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. Check this out. So this is the other style of report that we'll build, like a lot cleaner, right, looking. So you can have it like for TikTok or for all your channels and what have you. So we're still working on this. And what's cool is if you share it, then you can click this and actually you can put it like password protected or not, or you can actually just email it to a teammate or not. You can revoke the link. So like, oh no, I sent the wrong link. So you can just drop it in here and I'll actually show the report there potentially, or maybe not. Okay, whoops. I guess that one's kind of not working at the moment. Maybe it went stale. Let's see. Can you recreate? This is definitely a beta product, so this is why it's in the beta category. This performance dashboard. Cool. Nice to meet you, Barath. That you're a data engineer. Yeah, I think Barath, like we're looking at, like I said, this month we're looking at integrating like data lake houses if you're Databricks, or data warehouses if you're Snowflake, or I hope they don't get that wrong, or BigQuery if you're Google. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but I think there's a way to connect those data warehouses to Center and then use the agent to write SQL. But maybe I'm wrong. Barath, have you actually tried using agents with Databricks in terms of querying the data there? I'm just curious. Let's see if he comes back. Let's see if we can recreate this one. Hopefully, I guess kind of might have gone stale. But yeah, those are kind of the, oh yeah, see it's building the report here. That's good. I can see it working. So let's see if this works. We'll come back in a moment. Yeah, this one's cool. So this one, yep. Build, I see. Yep. Cool. So yeah, I can do all of that. That's great. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I think that's everything. Unless there's anything else that anyone wants to talk about, I guess we'll cut it loose here. Last chance. Any other questions or concerns? Nope. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for your time. Hopefully you learned something today. As you can see, Centers, we're an early stage startup. We've been at it about 6 months, so there's definitely going to be some bugs. So bear with us, and please do report them in the support channel if you hit any of those. In the meantime, I'm Joel, founder and CEO of Center, and hit me up if you have any questions. Thanks so much for joining this week. Take care. Bye. Mm-mm-mm.